discharge superheat alarm. And it was not a very hard problem to figure out, but it just goes to show you how necessary it is to check and calibrate sensors. So I had every one of these sensors were off big time. I have your discharge pressure, suction, water, the whole nine. And we are maintaining very well now. That was circuit 1. The discharge superheat's nice now. Making some nice cold water, but I'll show you so you can see my offsets. Evap, condenser, oil I haven't touched, suction temp, discharge temp. Well, not a hard problem at all, but it's something to pay attention to. And also, at least I can only speak to the Daikin. These also have liquid injection and an economizer right there, which comes off of right here. Down over there, and I'll take you over there. So here's your economizer. There is an expansion valve and a solenoid. You can see it comes up, ties in. That's where it's coming through, back through here, all the way. So, not a hard problem, but just something to look out for if you're newer. Like I said, she seems to be doing pretty blasted good now. I mean, she's barely purring along there. So I'll put you up close. You can hear how noisy this pump is. But is it the bearings or is it just the fan? Well, let's find out. I'm using my vibration analyzer. Hook it up by the fan and you'll see the difference. You want to see something cool, this compressor, which everyone knows the compressor should be well balanced, but man, it is barely even registering. Okay. Let her come down to 0. If you notice, my readings were the same across 3 different spots on the same plane. Let's go underneath the compressor here. That looks even better. This is kind of hard to do one-handed, but I'll manage. Actually, hold on one second. I just gotta see if I can undo. I'm gonna face you skyward. I was smart enough to actually untangle this wire. I'm sorry for all the movement if some of you want to puke. Okay, right there on top of the compressor. Oh, come on, baby. Looks absolutely beautiful, but it should. Let's see here, just pick another random spot. But you can see, I mean, it looks great. And here I'll even go by the these are the gate rotors. As you can see, this compressor is insanely well balanced. I'll just pick some other little random spot. Sometimes these little flat spots right here that you see on here, like this extra piece of metal, sometimes those are for taking vibration readings. So I'd say she's doing really well, just for shits and giggles. How about on the valve? You can see that the numbers are pretty much the same throughout. So what that does is that tells me that this thing is insanely well balanced, which, if you know how these compressors operate, it's not surprising. They don't have a lot of axial or different types of thrust or vibrations due to the gate rotors being on both sides. You know, that's where a gate rotor is. On the other side's a gate rotor. The screw is in the middle. It's just a single screw, and you got a gate rotor here and a gate rotor on the other side, and those are spinning against, you know, the screws turning, and those teeth are catching just inside of each one of the lobes on the screw, and that's how these things get compression. Anyways, this chiller is doing great. One last little look in here. It's AWS air cooled, 2 circuits. Everything's on VFDs.